Hi, everyone. This is Megan.
And this is Steven.
And this is the Synchrony podcast, where we talk about transforming apostolic dating culture and ending loneliness in the church.
Yep.
Babe, you've had such a productive day today.
Yeah, it was a wonderful day.
It was. Do you want to tell the people what you made?
Yes.
What'd you make?
So
I feel like I'm like talking to the kids. Like, do you want to tell me what you made at school? Like,
yes. So basically, my daughter really wanted to make a lemonade stand.
I don't know where this idea entered into her.
I think she saw it on a TV show or something.
There has been this vision, this passion about having a lemonade stand.
Probably for 6 months.
Somewhere between 6 months and a year. Like,
if you asked her, it's been since she was 4.
Yes.
Is what she was telling people tonight, which she's just turned 6. It's definitely only been like a couple months.
I don't think I think it's been, I mean, maybe not since she was 4, but it's been a really long time that she's been talking about it and asking to build one and like half constructing like poorly made ones out of like cardboard.
Yeah.
So you made her dreams come true.
I did. We did. Me and Lily did together. So she's been begging me to do a lemonade stand where we live. We live in the sticks.
We live in, like, it's somewhere between the boondocks and the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? And no offense to the boondocks or the ghetto and me saying that. I'm just saying, like, that's sort of the vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
and so
it ain't the classiest part of town.
It's not. And it's not. And even if it wasn't either of those things, it's not heavily trafficked.
Sure.
So that was the point I was trying to get to Lily.
Our neighbor rides down his lawnmower sometimes to go get beer at the gas station.
I also ride the lawnmower to go get a soda and refill my my lawnmower.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
And so I was trying to explain to her, I was like, listen, Lily, like, we're not going to get a lot of people coming by. And she goes, well, Daddy, if I go lemonade, fresh lemonade, she goes, people will come. I'm like, I love your zeal.
Yeah.
I was like, we might get 3 customers and it would be our very loving neighbors that would want to support you, but that's it. So I kind of crushed her dreams. And then I was like, well, there's some kids that come by Gigi, which is Megan's mom's neighborhood for Halloween. I was like, what if you set up a lemonade stand at her front yard?
We don't know if y'all are non-trick-or-treating apostolics, and we respect that. If so, we were not being spooky. She was taking advantage of the traffic.
Yeah, taking advantage of the traffic.
We just saw an opportunity.
Yeah.
And we passed out baptismal tracts. I'm just kidding. We did not. But we could have, I guess.
I guess we could have.
Yeah. Next year.
Yeah. Expansion.
Yeah.
And so I was like, there's going to be kids walking around the neighborhood and we can make a lemonade stand and give away or sell some lemonade. And I was like, well, Lily, I was like, kids don't usually walk around with money on Halloween. And she goes, well, Daddy, I wasn't planning on asking for money. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, well, I'm not going to be able to go trick-or-treating. She goes, what if I just trade them cups of lemonade for candy? And I was like, kid, you're a genius.
Yeah, brilliant. The whole model was just effortlessly elegant in its design.
Yes, it was. Yeah. It was amazing and fun. And so
just, I mean, you exercised, I have to brag on you. You exercised your spiritual powers of Facebook Marketplace and found these like wooden, like
they're like collapsible workbenches that someone made out of 2x4s and plywood.
Yeah, they're kind of like foldable bar height tables, really.
Yeah, they were literally made to be workbenches. And the guy was selling them for dirt cheap, and I was like, well, I can buy these for a lemonade stand and then also use them for my workshop later.
Sure. And then
so I got 2 of them, but we only used 1. And I gave Lily creative freedom to be able to choose whatever color she wanted. We happen to have a ton of different colored spray paints at the house.
Yeah.
And so we figured out how to spray paint all the stuff and covered it in blue and teal and
pink and purple.
And I let her choose designs that I drew and filled out with the spray paint, and
you guys made signs, and it was all very, very cute. So you helped her launch her business, and my girl made like 6 pounds of candy and $4 cash.
$4.50 actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. there is a 450. And someone's like, I don't have candy, but I can give you money. And I was like, are you sure?
Hmm.
And yeah, they gave a couple bucks over. It was really sweet.
Yep.
So Lily's excited. And if you hear some crinkling, it may or may not be
Oh,
because
that's probably very loud on the mic.
we'll find out.
Yeah.
We may have raided the stash a little bit.
She'll never know.
She'll never know.
Okay. This is another one of our two-parters.
Yep, this is the second part.
Second part. So if you were not here last week, then I would go back and listen to last week's episode. We talked about the sinkhole hypothesis, the idea that our apostolic men, as they're transitioning from childhood to adulthood, enter this like really fragile period where so many things can pull them away from the church. Relationships being one aspect of that, a lack of connection being the main driver of that, right? But it's just this period of time where it's so incredibly important for men to form connections with other men, right?
Yeah.
So I want to talk. Let's kind of start there, and let's talk about just like the logistical challenges of that.
We're running into a world where everyone's a silo.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to Home Depot, and I know that when I'm walking by most of those men, they are enjoying being in that store.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do the bro head nod.
Demonstrate for the people.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, that's it.
Is there a difference
Oh,
between
and there's
the
sometimes
is there a difference between the up nod and the down nod?
I think whatever ways your head's heading in that direction, I don't know. But it's one of those things. It's just like a, hey, I acknowledge you, but we don't actually have to say anything to each other,
Sure.
you know? But that's the extent of it. Like, I think a lot of guys are like, I'm dealing with my problems. You're dealing with your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not mix problems.
Right.
And that might not be the way it actually is, but I think that's how a lot of guys view it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's in a secular world, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's in the normal world, I should say. But in the Christian world, I feel like a lot of that ends up getting adopted. To an extent, unless it's intentional, like men's ministry or like hangouts where there's multi-generational. I think then you might have some connection, or you have some really intentional men who are trying to invest. And I think that's where you see the unique relationships that are fruitful. But if you don't have those people, I think people would just coast by each other like ships in the night.
Yeah, and I still feel like a lot of it has to be grounded around specific activities. You know, like
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying my dad is working on getting his captain's license or his fishing guide license. My dad loves to fish.
Yeah.
He's very good at it, and he's like a little bit obsessed. No, but it has been really cool to watch. Like my dad has always used those activities as a way to give men those
Yeah.
connections.
That's been his way of connecting. He
Yeah.
loves investing in people.
He was a Boy Scout leader for a long time, so he would take young men out and teach them how to hunt and how to fish and how to put up a tent and how to tie lots of very cool, complicated Boy Scout knots and survive and things. That was really meaningful to him. He did an amazing job with it. He helped a lot of young men stay grounded in the truth for a very long time, which was awesome. Interestingly enough, a lot of the young men that he brought up through those programs entered adulthood in the church. They were scouts until they were teenagers, and then most of them, if I'm thinking correctly, married within the church, and then over time slowly fell away even after they were married, which is interesting to me because I don't think there was as much connection after that group of guys as like sort of waiting for them as adult men.
Yeah.
But my dad now is using his love of fishing. He just went on a fishing trip with an older brother in our church who's in his 80s, and kind of in just an interesting transitional phase of his life. And my dad and then Connor, my little
Yeah.
brother, all went fishing together. And it was so cool to see the pictures and just to watch them connecting with each other, because
Yeah.
Connor wouldn't have a lot of reason to interact with this older saint.
100%.
And it was beautiful just to see them build that connection. So there are things like that where it's like, oh, we have an activity that a lot of guys enjoy, right? But you and I know, like, we have some male friends who you could maybe pay them a large sum of money to hang out on a boat, but like otherwise they would not be hanging out on a boat.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like stereotypical male activities of the annual deep sea fishing trip, right? Or the annual men's breakfast or the whatever. Like, they don't appeal to every guy. And something that infrequent, even if you're doing a monthly thing, isn't really the basis of true connection between people.
Yeah.
So if we operate under sort of this assumption that for at least for some subset of people, men forming connections, healthy connections with other men in the church is more complicated, right?
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit more difficult to engineer.
I think I think it's getting more complicated because, like, again, society is needing each other less.
Sure. And then we look at our kind of answer to that in the church right now is men's ministry.
Yeah.
And we are not here to diss men's ministry whatsoever. Men's
No.
ministry is beautiful and vital. And there are people doing incredible things in men's ministry.
Yeah.
But I think the average men's ministry is probably not doing stuff constantly, right?
Oh, sure. It might be once a quarter, and
Yeah.
which again, every church has their bandwidth. Like, so I understand
100%.
that, like, there's not, and honestly, people's schedules too. Like, people have lives, they have jobs, they have families, they have,
Right.
college and careers that they're trying to pursue. So, like, I understand that it's not feasible for something to be done every week.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I don't think men's ministry is enough.
No.
By itself.
No. I think it's a great supplement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is there is, so I was talking to someone recently, where they were talking about their frustration with the groups
Mm.
that the church kind of compartmentalizes you to.
Like departments?
No, kind of, but in terms of as you age, I may have talked about this on another podcast, but like you go from Sunday school ministry to youth ministry,
Mm.
youth ministry to hyphen ministry,
Or young adult, whatever
or young,
equivalent you have.
young adult. Then after young adult, they expect you to be married.
Yeah.
Then after that, between the ages of like 30 till you get to 65, when you're in seniors ministry,
Yeah.
there's not really much for you. They might have young marrieds, but again,
Yeah.
if you're single, that young marrieds doesn't really mean much. Or if you got married really early,
Mhm.
then the young marrieds, you're usually married longer than the young marrieds have been connected. So like there's big gap of, then they have men's ministry and women's ministry, but usually it's catered to the married households.
Yeah, I think it's often true that those ministries, like ladies' ministries and men's ministries, tend to cater toward married saints, because oftentimes the leaders of those are married people.
Yeah.
And it is difficult when you're married or you're a parent or whatever to do something that fits the needs and schedules of a group whose lifestyle and pace is different than yours.
Yep.
Right. So I think all of that's true, and none of this is wrong. It's not
And
wrong.
just a little side tangent too.
Mhm.
A lot of from what I understand,
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong, there's a decent chunk of our resources for
Mhm.
ladies and men
Mhm.
that are usually written from the perspective of someone who is married.
Oh, you mean in terms of like the
Like
devotionals and materials and
like the men's books and
listen.
the ladies' books that are like talking about, and like there's not that, it's mostly catered to people who are already in established marriages.
Listen. So like, and I'm not here. So I just want to say, just
There's a
quick.
lot of caveats.
Yeah, I feel like I could get myself in trouble here. And I don't want to. I love the body of apostolic writers and authors that we have right now in the church. I think it's beautiful, the literature that's being put out. So this is not a diss. But again, like we went to, so I'm about to throw some people under the bus. So we went to
no individual people.
No individual people. We went to General Conference, UPCI General Conference.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to tell the story because I've told it to other people. And we were, they have this big like exhibition area. And so we were just like wandering around, talking to people, connecting with people. Saw so many clients. Love you guys. That was amazing. And we walked over to the men's ministry booth, right? And they were doing this beautiful like table giveaway, this gorgeous table that we did not win. Oh, it was beautiful.
It would be right here, right now.
Yeah. Shout out to Brother Paymer for that absolutely stunning table.
Gorgeous.
It's incredible. And they had books that they were giving away, and like kind of like a sort of a devotional type, book. And a bunch of the men's ministry leadership were kind of hanging out, talking to people, connecting with people. All good times, good things. And we meandered over there, and they gave us a book, which was so sweet. And we were talking, and I asked at one point, I was like, brothers, I have a question for you, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I felt weird asking this question because like it was all these like
it's fine. We're used to asking people weird questions.
Dudes, right. But I was like, I have a question for you. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, are the single men okay? Was my question.
Yeah.
And I explained kind of what we do. Like we work with apostolic singles. We help them connect with healthy dating partners. And I said, in my experience, I'm finding that our single men are really encountering a lot of challenges. Are the single men okay? And immediately, and I know that his intention here was not to be dismissive. I do not believe this was his intention.
We actually don't know this brother's name.
I don't know this brother's name. And brother, if you're listening to this ever, I apologize for throwing. I hope you don't get too dirty under this bus that I'm about to throw you under. We like from across the table, I was like, are the single men okay? And immediately he goes,
snap response.
Oh, I don't know. I'm married.
Yeah.
And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, and all the other gentlemen standing around the table, with the exception of one.
Yeah, there's probably 6 different guys standing there, and one stood out and said,
yeah. And they kind of all like chuckled and were like, yeah, you know what, we're married. And one brother was like, I have a daughter who's 30, who's been trying to find a godly husband. And I agree that things aren't okay with our single men. And he was the only one who seemed sort of stirred by that.
Yeah.
So that shook me. And then I took the book that they gave me, which I will not name because it was written by a very prominent minister who I appreciate and love. And I read the book in the airport on the way home.
Yeah.
I have to, so if there are physical books that come into our ownership, I read them. You listen to audiobooks.
I listen to audiobooks.
I read the physical book. So I'm in the airport reading this, and Stephen is probably cracking up because I'm like, oh. And it's a beautiful book.
There's a lot of sighs.
It's a beautiful book. It's very well written, but it was almost entirely, except for one paragraph, directed at married men and fathers.
Yeah.
And I understand why, but y'all, they can't become married men and fathers if they're not discipled as single men.
Yes.
Like, our boys do not become heads of households if we lose them before they establish households.
Yeah.
And so it just broke my heart because it did feel like, okay, there's this ministry that's really designed to address the problem that we're talking about, but it's not necessarily speaking to what should maybe be its largest demographic.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, here's the thing. Married men need support too. Married men absolutely need support, but they're also anchored in by a family.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we should not provide them with resources, but you know what I mean? It just seems a little bit disproportionate.
But it seems difficult because like, I think that if you reach a certain age, and I'm saying I do not ascribe to this thought process, but once you reach a certain age, if you have not been married by that point, then it's probably your fault.
That's what people start to assume.
That's what people assume. And like, oh, there must be something wrong. And I'm not saying I've heard that necessarily, but that's how it feels.
And we have, and this is not a diss, very, very few ministers who have been in periods of extended singleness.
Yeah.
Right? We have, like it's male ministers in particular, right?
Yeah.
most of the men that will get up and they'll talk about their wife and how they met them in Bible college.
Yeah.
They met them going to church together. I heard one of our sweet clients said, we were at their wedding, and the father of the groom was like, yeah, it was really hard for us to understand because his mom and I met when we were in Sunday school
Yeah.
as 5-year-olds.
Yep.
Right. So anyway, all that to say is that, like, um the ministry side of it, the church, if your church is blessed enough to have a men's ministry or a ladies ministry, and that is a complete blessing, right? Because not every church has the time and resources and people for that. If your church is blessed enough to have that, that's amazing, but it might not be what's going to keep your men connected to each other.
I think what we want this podcast to get across is that we want to challenge the ministries that are catered to specific gender demographics, like,
Mhm.
men's ministry, ladies ministry.
Mhm.
Look at your events. Look at what you're teaching. Look at your curriculum. Look at the stuff and challenge it and go, is this catering to one specific type of group,
Mhm.
or is this catering to men?
Yeah.
Is this helping single men understand what married men also struggle with?
Mm-hmm.
Is this helping married men helping other married men understand that they're also probably struggling with similar things?
Right.
Like, is it, how can married women learn from, sorry, single women learn from married women
Right.
unless they hear from each other with it being a positive, not a gossiping, not a
Mm-hmm.
bad mouthing, not a spilling the tea conversation. It
Yeah, let's
being,
all get around and talk trash about our husbands type
yeah, like,
situations. I don't have any patience
I
for, like,
don't
the sewing circle mentality of, like,
know.
let's hang out and talk about our health problems, our birth trauma, and all the reasons why our husbands are idiots. Like,
Yeah.
there is no reason to do that to young women. And I imagine the same for men, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of sitting around talking about your high school glory sports days and your ball and chain wife that you're dragged around by?
I know. And the thing
Doesn't
is
edify.
it perpetuates this lie that I'm probably not going to get along with my wife anyways. So I better think she's pretty.
Right. Yeah. It
It it
contributes to
it,
all
it
the
contributes
things.
to the world's mentality of attraction first
Hmm.
before values, before purpose.
Right.
And it's one of those things, it's like, well, I'm probably not going to actually get along, and we're actually probably going to argue all the time. So if she's at least pretty, then I'll at least have something to look forward to.
Babe, weirdly, I've never put that together. That idea that if since marriage is talked about so sometimes poorly in the church, even sometimes, and God help us, sometimes even from the pulpit,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes.
Sometimes, I mean, I think most ministers are obviously they love their wives, they care about their wives, they're grateful for their wives, but sometimes it's a lot of razzing,
Yeah,
right?
and they sometimes it's intentional comedic relief to
Right,
like make
playful,
playful like bantering.
100%.
But the thing is you got to look at it from the context of the single person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just talking about youth. I'm talking about all the way up until the 70s, like,
Right.
right? Like, if we are not having circles of people talking about what healthy relationships look like,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know what that I didn't have that taught to me,
Mm-hmm.
right? I had to figure it out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I know through the hundreds of people that we've talked to, they haven't either.
No,
Wait,
especially young
I
men.
need to finish this thought before I forget.
Mm-hmm.
That if they've never had a positive
Mm-hmm.
outlook being taught to them of how to construct and work towards that relationship,
Right.
but all they hear is the negative, like it's no wonder our relationships are struggling so much.
Of course
It's no
not.
wonder our divorce rate almost similarly matches the world's divorce rate.
Well, not just that. I mean, so this is a cycle, the perpetuating cycle, right? We have traditionally had more women than men in the church, which means we've also had more single mothers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So imagine you are a young man who's raised by a single mom in church, right? You don't have to imagine, you've done this.
Yeah.
And and your only, example of a quote unquote healthy marriage are the older male ministers in your church that are constantly complaining about their wives.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, all this to say is, like,
And it's not always the ministers, I want to caveat.
It's
It's
not.
it's
It could
usually the
be
people that you're rubbing shoulders with in the church that are also like perpetuating the same
right.
information.
The takeaway here is that in the places where men should be built up, we've sometimes allowed disconnection or poor modeling
Yes.
creep in.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we've established so far in this very
Very muddy episode.
twisty turny conversation. We've established that it's harder for men to connect with each other than it used to be.
Yep.
Men need things to do together. They need to sit side by side, right, to a degree, and accomplish something together, have a shared purpose. Not the ministries and the resources that we have directed at men aren't necessarily connecting with single men, or aren't maybe prioritizing connections with single men as highly as they should be in some places.
Yep.
Right. And some of the places where we have created space for single men are not spaces where they're having great, hopeful marriage connections modeled for them.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're not going to solve that problem in this next few minutes, but I want to talk about something that we're experimenting with.
Yep.
And we've been kicking this idea around for a very long time. We're talking about starting a Discord.
Well, let's start that over because there's a large chunk of people that have no idea what you just said.
And we're going to explain what it is.
Okay.
But
let's not lead with the title because people automatically hear the word Discord and like, what in the world?
Okay, so Discord is a web application that allows you to host basically a communication platform, a server.
Yeah.
And if you've ever used something like Slack or even, I mean, I think the ancient precursors to this were like AOL chat rooms, like long ago, far away.
Yeah, similar, but with obviously more usability.
Sure. So these are generally, if I'm understanding correctly, you tell me if my understanding is wrong. These are interest-driven online spaces where people come together to talk about a specific thing that they enjoy or want to spend time talking about together, whether that's a video game or a show or, I had a friend who got into a board game Discord at
I
one
know
point.
people that do like sewing Discords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because there's a talking element, like you could just talk over a microphone if you want to, or even some people calling on their cell phones.
I just realized you said sewing Discord, which is like a funny play on
that's
words.
Funny.
But crafting
SEW.
Yeah. I got friends that are online sewing Discord. We know about that, babe. Yeah. Get off the social media.
Edward.
Yeah. Man, we're just like every time a bus drives by, someone is landing under it tonight.
There's a lot of roadkill right now.
I'm telling you.
So you have the audio aspect of it, but then there's also a video where people can choose to show their webcam.
Hang out in like a shared video call.
Yeah. And so there's some people that, like you said, play board games and they can have certain setups to where you both have the set of board game and you have it set up similar ways and you can do it that way. Or some people do online stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you're actually sewing on the Discord, then you can show what you're doing.
Right.
So, but we're giving two very limited examples. But basically it's a way to have common interest groups to be able to sit and chat with each other.
Yeah. And I will say, like, Discord's used for a lot of different people with a lot of different interests. I think it's also heavily used by the gaming community.
Yes. Yeah.
So and we've talked about video games before and what have you, I think that the vast majority of men in their 20s and 30s have at some point or might currently be playing some form of a video game. If it's not
a video game, they're at least in an online space.
Yeah, it's really common. And Discord's one of those platforms where you can have people across the country and in multiple different countries form a common space,
a community.
Yeah, they form a community to hang out in, and it can be a very real thing. I mean, you have guys that you've communicated with primarily over Discord.
Yeah.
And we've, sadly, we've attended their funerals. We've been to their major life events. We've connected with them, deeply as people.
I've had friends that I've connected with over video games and Discord that would call me in the middle of a life crisis.
Yeah.
Like they became close enough to me to where they felt, and this is me not trying to pat myself on the back or anything like that. It's just that's how close our connections became to where when something was going wrong, they
Mhm.
asked me and called me for prayer or for advice for stuff.
Right.
So it's one of those things. It's like you can be on these online spaces, and if you don't understand online, you're like, oh, there's no way you can have close connections. When you spend time with people and you ask them hard questions and have deep conversations, you're building connection. You're just not next to each other.
I mean, you're talking to the wrong people about building online connections because that's literally what we do all the time.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, like it. So there's this idea, and I think most people in their 30s and even in their 40s, especially post COVID, this is less of a weird thing than it used to be. The idea that
Oh yeah, 100%.
you can form close relationships with people virtually, right?
Yeah.
Um. So the I guess one of the reasons why we've been looking at Discord as a place to start to create community, and I say we, I mean you're the driver of this because we're trying to create a space for men.
Yeah.
I've never used Discord.
I am trying to create a space for men.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am I am a supportive cheerleader in this
Yeah.
initiative.
And you check my grammatical
I do.
errors.
I helped you write your rules and stuff. But the reason why we've been eyeing Discord as the place to try to do this is because so if you are a single man in the church, right? And hopefully you're not drinking, you're not gambling, I hope not stuck watching a ton of pornography, you're not spending your time in worldly activities, and you don't have a wife and family potentially that is taking up a lot of your time, there's a good chance you're spending a good chunk of time online.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you're gaming or not.
Either online or alone.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't want to caveat. I don't want to make this. Sorry, caveat is not the right word. I don't want to keep on saying online, 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 because you don't need to be someone who's online all the time in order to interact with people in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have, like I said, you have access. If you have a smartphone, you can download the app, and me and my friends will sometimes hop in on a call in Discord, but they're just able to wear their headphones instead of talk on the phone. So
Right.
like it's one of those situations where they might be at their computers, but I'm doing errands and I can have my AirPods in, I can have a conversation with them. And so like it's the nice thing is it's not like you're calling people, you're joining a mutual zone, a hangout area that you can choose to leave and come whenever you want.
Right. Imagine like a never-ending Zoom call.
Yep.
Where
An always open Zoom call.
It's always open, and you can pop in and pop out when you want to be there, and you can chat if you just want to type chat in and not be on a video or on audio call. You can be there with video enabled. You can be there with just audio enabled. It's basically a forever running call that's available to you and anyone else who's interested in the same set of things.
Yep.
Right?
And you can look on your phone and go, oh, there's 2 people in there right now. I'm interested in having a conversation. So people can join on their phone or on their computer and hop in, chat for a few minutes. Oh, got to go. Talk to you guys later and just leave. And it doesn't affect your day.
Right. So the vision for this Discord, I mean, like, talk me through you. I mean, you and I have talked a lot about plans, and I'm purposefully framing this intentionally because I know that when we start talking about everything that you want this to be, it can spiral quickly into all of the challenges and pressures and whatever that can come from it, which is what I'm not trying to do. But what are your hopes for how someone might interact with this space? Like, put yourself in the shoes of a 30-something who plays a lot of online games and is going to church and is single. How are you hoping that he utilizes this space?
So I'm going to give you some context before I tell you what I want the community to be. I have been a part of a lot of apostolic gaming or apostolic based Discord channels or similar setups where it's a bunch of guys mostly who are in there and the goal of it is gaming, right? Or the goal of it is something else.
Right.
And then you have people who come in there and then they'll choose to like, a Discord community, you run the risk when you have a lot of people in the same place. You have some people that come in that have the right mind, have good mindsets or healthier mindsets, and you have some people that don't. And that's the nature of the church, and that's okay. But there still has to be boundaries. And sometimes when it comes to like if gaming is the focus, there's not a lot of healthy rebuilding of those conversations or redirecting of those conversations. So what ends up being is a spiral of a group of people who just likes to hear themselves talk.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a toxic environment. And then you decide to and if the moderators of the Discord choose to kick them, great, whatever. But then it just creates sometimes a loop of a toxic environment. So what I'm really, really, really hoping for, and that happens in any other online space in general. So like, I
Sure.
wanted to say that out there. What I'm really hoping for is for a place that people understand that this is a group of people who have a similar direction that they're going,
Mm.
and that they want to come in and have a conversation. And my goal is for there to eventually be a level of uh, healthy conversation, communication, transparency. Um, but at the end of the day, I want to have a common place to just hang out with people,
Yeah.
like to have conversations. If you want to play a video game while you're having a conversation with us, great. If you want to be on a road trip driving somewhere and you want to hop in and talk with us while we're talking, great. My goal is deep, meaningful conversations, though. My hope is connection.
It's difficult. I think the reason why we're kind of trepidatious about this is because what you're proposing is a bit of a unicorn in the
Yeah,
sense of like it is to a large degree an aimless server when it comes to topic,
yeah,
because you're not looking to craft conversations around a particular topic or around a particular subject. Like, we hope that this is going to be a place where men can explore, seeking freedom from pornography, but it's not an anti-porn channel.
no, yeah. It's not
We're
like, yeah, that's not
yeah,
our goal.
we're hoping that it's a place where men can have conversations about what healthy dating and relationships looks like, but it's not a dating focused channel,
Yeah.
right? So,
But at the same time,
mm,
all those people that are like just cringe when I said communication and connection,
mm,
and people go, "Oh, I don't want to hang out in a place where I always have to talk about my feelings." That's not my goal either. Like, my goal is
no,
that sometimes we're just going to sit around and chat. Sometimes we're just going to just have conversations. It doesn't always have to be deep and meaningful and have some sort of like deep purpose.
right. But I think that's difficult for men to envision, or for people in general to envision, right? Because like most of the times when we're connecting in online spaces, we're connecting around something. We're like
Yeah.
moths to a flame. And what you're really proposing is, hey, the goal here is being here for and with each other.
Yes.
Like, it's a server where men support men. And the goal of the server is men supporting men.
Yep.
And most men haven't been trained to support men and haven't felt a ton of support from men. So what you are inventing, sort of is like,
I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff out there, but I don't know about it.
no, yeah, that's the thing. Like, what you're proposing to create within the apostolic spaces online is a place for men to come and support men in a way that feels authentic and fun and not stuffy.
Yeah.
It's not a Bible study channel. It's
No.
not a
Will we talk about the Bible sometimes? Absolutely.
100%. So it's almost like you're trying to create a I'm almost envisioning it like a virtual like airplane terminal, like where, you know what I mean? Like, people are coming and going and like, different places in their lives. They aren't necessarily there for all the same reasons, but they all need to have a space where they can all be there together, right?
Yeah.
And pass through this moment in each other's lives in a way that's going to be beneficial to everybody,
Yeah.
right? It's intentionally meant to be a liminal space, which liminal space is a space that exists between two other spaces, right? So a hallway is a liminal space, a
Yeah.
waiting room is a liminal space. It's the space that exists as a delimiter between an origin and a destination. And that's kind of what you're proposing to create. Like, this is a space for men to be there for men as they go.
Yeah. Yeah. And my goal, again, my goal is for there to be an opportunity for people who don't have men in their lives to have healthy conversations about things that men struggle with.
Mm,
And like, I am going to have boundaries in there about making sure that there's no bullying and
mm.
there's, keeping a positive environment and
Not talking trash about
not,
women.
yeah, like we're not going to go in there and perpetuate this like toxic masculinity conversation
Mm,
of like, women are meant to do certain things and men are meant to do certain things and blah, 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 blah. Like my goal is for there to be growth
Right.
together, right? My goal is for there to be, have people feel seen.
Right. And be surrounded by positive modeling, because you've kind of hand selected a starter group, so to speak.
Yeah.
Of,
yeah. Yeah.
You've
We're working on it.
You've voluntold.
Yeah. They're more than willing, but right now it's just people to help keep eyes on stuff. So yeah.
But I mean, I think the people that you've talked to about this, like these are men that we know that you've connected with.
Yeah.
Many of them are this idea, the vision for this obviously is that it's a space for single men, but we anticipate there will be married men there as well to support the single guys.
And that's the thing is, I'm not necessarily saying that this is only for single men.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also wanting to open this up to our married men as well.
Yeah.
But with a caveat to the married men. We are going to have healthy, kingdom-minded conversations about relationships. And I'm not saying you can't talk about your bad experiences, but I do want to make sure we're not perpetuating that cycle of the old ball and chain conversation, because we want to be giving a good example of like what to look forward in relationships. I'm not saying lie and say that you only have good examples.
No, but the men that you have sort of asked to come on board with this to start are men who champion their wives.
Yeah.
And they love their wives and they're cool. You know what I mean? And they're not there.
I think they're cool. I don't know if they're actually cool.
No, I think they're cool. And what we think matters. You guys are cool. But you know what I mean? Like they're there to, like, they are men who I would trust to speak life over a single man's relationship, right?
Yeah.
They would give good advice. They'd be solid partners in that endeavor. They'd also make them laugh. Like they're cool and they're fun and they don't take themselves super seriously, but they're great guys to model that intentionality and that positivity that we're hoping to give men hope for, you know? Yeah, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I am too. I know this isn't much of a like I didn't give y'all a firm understanding of what this Discord is going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Just join in and find out. We'll figure it out together.
So I think that's actually a good call to action. This Discord only works if the men who show up understand that they're showing up to help create a culture.
Yeah.
Right. And understand that stepping into this is going to require a level of willingness to be vulnerable, to be transparent, to be intentional with the interactions that they have, right?
When the time is right for them.
No, but I mean, like,
if there were two characteristics that I would like for the men that are coming into this group to be, hungry and humble.
I agree with those two things, but I also think that, like, I think it's important that the men who show up to this come with the mindset of, I'm not just showing up for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I think they need to understand that they're coming for the brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
And I'm putting words in the mouths of men, so I'm not trying to be like a woman scripting what guys need, right?
No, but you're right.
Like there's an element of this that says like, hey, this is going to be a little bit different, a little bit stilted, a little bit awkward to start. And I'm not going to show up just because I'm looking for a place to make me feel good.
No.
I'm going to show up because I'm not the only man out there who needs a place.
Yeah.
And on a day when I'm having a good day, I'm going to have a brother in this space who's really not.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be willing to show up for him. And I'm expecting when I'm having my really bad days that someone's there to show up for me.
Yeah.
That has to be part of the mindset of like, we have each other's backs and we're taking ownership of crafting a space that can be that waiting room. It can be that, hey, someone sit with me in this for just a little while.
Yeah.
You know? Is that fair?
Yeah. Like, to the men who are still listening, this is a long episode, I think. We have heard from dozens and dozens and probably dozens of men throughout the last 2 years, 2.5 years, who, married or single, have talked about how lonely they are.
Mm.
Married and single.
Mm.
And your wife is not the only one responsible for, like, she cannot be the only one to be your only person that ever fully fulfills you in life, right?
And
Like, you
sees
have to
you.
you have to have Paul and Timothy relationships. You have to have Paul and Silas relationships. You have to have Jonathan and David relationships, right?
Mm.
Like, you have to have these men that come together. You have to have the disciples. Like, I what I've been saying is I would love to be the man, or sorry, I would love to be a fly on the tree outside of the disciples' campfire
Mm.
in their conversations that didn't make it into the Bible.
Yeah, they were playing practical jokes on each other.
Or having real conversations about their church. I want to know what, obviously, it's like, I don't know where Paul was in this at this
Mhm.
point, but I want to know what the thorn in Paul's side is.
Sure.
Like all those things, but like they had a relationship of connection.
Mhm.
They were serving ministry, they were doing things, and yet they stayed connected with each other for
Mhm.
a good chunk of time.
Mhm.
So you are not alone. And you are not the only one who is struggling with wanting to have connection with men. And there are sometimes not great people that you can connect with in your area.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you don't need to try to connect with men in your church. I'm
Mm.
not saying this is a supplement for that. But I do think that if there are not good, healthy options, I would like this to be a place for people to come
Yeah.
and and have us grow together.
Right. So this podcast is airing on Sunday.
Yes.
Okay. If we get our act together and it all works out. We are planning to launch the Discord server the following Tuesday. And the idea is that the server will be available at any point. We can put the info in the description if people want to go join.
Yeah.
But the launch portion is basically when you'll show up for your first round of like office hours, more or less.
Yeah.
So the idea is that people are welcome to be there whenever they want to be there. You'll be around, right?
Yep.
But you'll plan specific times during the week where you will be online for
Yeah.
those windows of time.
As of right now, I think we talked about Tuesday nights
Mhm.
and Saturday nights, I believe.
I think we said Tuesdays and Saturdays.
So Tuesday night, I think we said, I don't remember the time, but it'll be for a couple hours, and we'll have it in the description when
Yeah.
it's nailed down with figure out childcare and synchrony
Well,
calls and
we're
stuff.
probably going to aim for something pretty late in the evening. And
Yeah, it's probably going to be from like 8 to 12 or something Eastern.
Yeah. So sorry to those of you in the Eastern time zone who have to go to bed early and get up early.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out during the day because people will be around and online. But we want to make sure that people,
Hopefully.
we want to make sure that people that are on the West Coast
Yeah.
can participate as well. And if they are getting off work at 5:36, it's just harder for them to jump on a call. There wouldn't be much time there.
Yeah.
So,
and we can always expand hours if necessary.
right. So Steven's going to start holding your office hours on Tuesdays starting next week or the week that this airs. Once again, this is aimed at men specifically.
Yeah.
So ladies, we'll find other ways for us to connect, but this is for the guys. You do not have to be single to join.
And you don't have to be a Synchrony member, by the way.
Absolutely not.
This is for anyone.
Right. Any guys, and we're not going to get you in there just so we can sell stuff to you.
No.
The goal here is not to build a mailing list.
We're not going to start doing microtransactions.
Right. We just want to create a space. There's no charge for this. It's free.
It's free.
100% free. So look in the description for info about where to go. If you're not familiar with Discord, by the way, it's very easy to navigate app. If you've used any kind of chat software, if you use Slack for work or Teams or anything like that, like you're gonna figure it out. It's not that complicated. So even if you feel like it's
about as difficult as joining a Zoom call or a Google Meet.
Right. So if you feel like it's slightly out of your depth, I encourage you just to try it anyway. You can download the Discord app. You can use it on a desktop or a laptop or whatever, or on a mobile device. Um, and yeah, it's just going to be there for guys, any age, any stage, apostolic men who want to be there to support each other.
Yep.
Anything else we should add about the Discord, what to expect?
Yeah. When you join, there will be a about me section or like an intro
Mm,
section. There will be a prompt of like some things that you can share about yourself, and a couple of the guys that are already in there have already shared some things about themselves. So go ahead and share about you and some of your interests.
yeah. Read through, comment back to people.
Yeah, but I also want to throw this out there. I am really big about making this a healthy culture.
Mhm.
So there are some rules that are going to be there, and I'm not really sure how the strike system will be of how many times you get to, I don't want to say get in trouble, but basically like I'm going to make sure to kick people out who are unhealthy.
Yeah, you'll shut down conversations that aren't conducive to that growth,
Yeah.
that support.
And you can do like temporary mutes and
Mm,
stuff. So we'll figure that out. But
right.
so well, I don't know. This might be 5 people. This might be 500. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're a guy, share this with your guy friends,
Yep.
and hop on, and
Yeah.
you'll see them there.
Yeah. Apostolic men,
Anything else that
married and single.
all the men. So we don't expect obviously one Discord server to solve the problem of
Mhm.
connecting men to men across the church. It's one strategy, and we want you guys to be thinking really critically about other ways that our churches can work to build these connections intergenerationally. Where can we put men side by side with each other, working and serving together, doing something together, whether it's doing a recreational activity that they enjoy on a frequent basis, or something, um, you know, more infrequent and intentional, or however it looks. Be thinking about ways that you can make this happen in your congregation.
Not only doing things, but try to be intentional about intergenerational.
Mm-hmm.
Because what ends up happening is we have a activity that excites a certain group of men, where it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of only the same guys go to those specific things because that's what they're interested in. But we really need the young to learn from the old.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to have that wisdom passed down. We also need to be able to have those connections for younger men who are single or married to also see that older men also have struggles too. So like, don't just try to do things together that are for a specific age group. Try to figure out a way. I know it's hard to find common ground amongst the different generations.
Yeah. Okay. If you have great ideas for how, if your church is doing something that's working for men, or if there's been interest groups or activities that have really gone over well, please drop them in the comments, because we'd love to get a lot of suggestions there.
Yep. And if you have questions about the Discord, or you're kind of nervous about joining an app that you've never been a part of, feel free to send us an email at questions@synchronyproject.com.
Moving on from this really quickly, just a reminder that the payment deadline for the final payment of the cruise is coming up. You can check your balance, I think, coming like from the cruise itself. So if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to Chelsea. Her email is down in the description, and her phone number. So check that out and make sure that you have all the information that you need about when that payment is due. We'll be sending out some more information shortly about our plans for the cruise, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be really, really fun. There's still plenty of time to hop on, still plenty of room on the boat. So if you would like to register, please feel free to do that. You've got time between now and then. We don't know exactly what the pricing will be, but you can continue to reserve, as long as there's space available until we ship off in February.
Yep.
It's going to be so great. Coming up on I think we're less than 100 days out, maybe, or just over. It's not that many.
Oh,
So
that's true. Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yep.
Another thing, just to start teasing, our big end of year sale is coming up. We're going to kick it off on Black Friday like we always do.
Yep.
So heading into,
And we're probably going to have to release a podcast episode about what we're going to be doing with that.
yeah, we have some changes on the horizon.
Yep.
If, I feel like we have been a bit tunnel visioned on all of these changes that we're really excited about.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of stuff in progress. So I'm excited to get to the end of the year so we can get it all out there and people can see what they think of it. And Yeah, it's going to be fun. We do have to do like an episode dedicated to that.
Yep.
Probably not next week, but maybe the week after. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, tell your friends, end of year sale starting Black Friday. If you're a guy right now, though, the freemium model is still available.
Yep.
So you can get started.
Constant sale, actually, for
Right.
you guys.
You can get started and meet your first match for free. And then we have a few different ways that guys can continue their synchrony experience after that. So we've started to figure out a few different kind of like subscription or payment models, so guys can kind of pick. It's kind of a choose your own adventure, the model that works best for you.
Yeah.
Right. So all you have to do to get started with that is email me, and my email is also in the description.
Yep. And guys, tell your friends about the Discord, especially all you Discord users out there.
Yeah, if you're already on Discord, you have no excuse. Go join the server.
Just give us a try.
Yeah, it'll hang out. It'll
Drop
be great.
in, say hi, have some fun.
It's good times. Ask Steven questions about bees or lemonade stands.
Or woodworking or disc golf.
Yeah.
Or video games.
See if you can find something that Steven hasn't dabbled in.
Yeah.
That's the challenge I give to you. See if you can find a weird random skill. Did I ever tell you that Steven was a competitive salsa dancer in high school?
Oh gosh. Yes. Yes, I was.
Yeah, Steven is a man of many, many, many trades and talents. So
our daughter has told many people, my dad has had a lot of different jobs. I'm like, Lily, you don't know how that makes it sound. It makes it sound like I'm a job hopper. I'm like, no, I just happened to try different adventures when I was younger.
Yeah. So anyway, join the server. Have a great time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what comes out of it. I'm a little bit like, I'm going to be like lightly peeking over your shoulder every once in a while just to see how things are going.
Men only.
Men.
No, never.
Man, I guess I can go find
no girls allowed.
Yeah, I can go find a sewing circle Discord or something.
Yeah, you go sew Discord somewhere else.
Anyway. Hey. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for working very hard to build that lemonade stand for our daughter and fulfill all of her hopes and dreams.
It was a blast. And if this is the spark of her becoming an entrepreneur, I want to make sure that she has a good, positive experience.
Yeah. You have got to stop twisting like a top in your seat. Your voice is going to be like, hello.
No,
hello?
I've been better this time about keeping my head still.
Your head's not moving. Your whole body's just like.
That's what I'm doing the whole time.
That's adorable. Well, thank you for working so hard on it.
ADHD.
Yeah. It was really fun. And she had a great time.
Yeah.
So thank you.
It was literally my pleasure.
I hope the rest of you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.